Hello and welcome to the Animal Enrichment Workshop. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own bottle cap puzzle feeder at home and then explaining how cheap and easy they can be to make for a range of clever species you might have or work with. So let's get into it. Alright, so this build can really be broken down into three parts. So first we're going to start with the base. Now I'm using these offcuts for demonstration purposes, and this is just showing where you would screw in the bottom pieces to the top pieces if you were using pieces of wood pallet that you might get for free or wood that you've purchased from the hardware store. And then I drill the hole for the dowel about there, keeping it as central as possible. Now instead for this I'm using a wood round that I've cut and sanded up so it's nice and smooth. Now I'm using an 8mm drill bit in the center, and I'm going to be drilling basically all the way through as much as possible so that that dowel, when it goes in, the 8mm piece of dowel will fit snugly and it'll hold strong because it's got, as much as the wood, probably about 30 mils of wood to get through. Now because that fits nice and snug, I'm not going to glue it. It's strong enough that the animal that I'm using it for, which is a pheasant kukul, isn't going to be messing around and breaking it. Now measuring up how long I want the dowel, I did start out thinking I wanted about 30 centimeters, but then take a look and it looks a bit too big for what I want to use it for. So these can be as big or as small as you want, just based on the piece of dowel that you're using. Now 20 centimeters looks like the go, so I pull the piece of dowel out, cut it to the size, accounting for the piece that's going to be in the bottom wood piece, and then get started on the bottle caps. Now the bottle caps are getting drilled in with a larger drill bit. So I think about a 10mm for this one. So I want to make them slide up and down the piece of dowel. I don't want them to fit snugly. So drilling through, getting through as many as possible. Now you want to have an even amount because when you slide them on, they're going to fit and make little reservoirs for the food items to be in, for the animal to find. Now when I've drilled through most of these, they haven't perfectly worked out. So I've just got a knife in there, flicked it out, and you can see it comes out really nicely and it's really clean and smooth. And there's no excess pieces of plastic in or around the bottle caps. So now that I've got all my pieces, I get my bottom piece, jam the piece of dowel into that, nice and snug, and then going in haphazard fashion with the colors, one facing down, one facing up, until I've slid all my bottle caps onto that piece of dowel. You can do as many or as little as you want. Now when you've done all of those, you want to get one bottle cap that's been drilled at 8mm, just like your dowel piece or whatever size piece you've used, because that's going to fit snugly and hold them all together so the animal can't pull the bottle caps off unless this is something that you want to do. Now as you can see, all fit nice, snug on top, perfect. Perfect, and back with the finished product. Now the best part about this is that you can hide lots of little treats in there for a range of species. It's generally not going to fit a whole daily food intake for a larger species, but otherwise when the bottle caps are done like that, it's a perfect little reservoir for dry food, wet food, whatever you're using. Now I personally built this to start with for Australian ravens and Australian magpies, and it worked an absolute treat. They loved it. I've then seen it adapted, well not adapted, it's been used for species like common marmosets and ferrets, which I'll try and attach some video footage of at the end with permission from the person who's used it for them. So it can be used for a range of animals to get in and around to find the little treats inside. And I've just found it to be really cheap, really easy, fantastic to use. The bottle caps have all come from recycled bottles that I've found. The only thing I paid for was the dowel piece here, and I got the bottom wood piece for free. However, if I was using slats, you can purchase new wood from a hardware store or anything like that. But in the past, I've even gone and got pallets, old pallets that were getting chucked out by some businesses, and then taken them home and cut them up into pieces I need. So I've even recycled the wood piece, the bottle caps. The only piece that's new is the dowel piece. But if you found a straight enough piece of stick or branch out in the wild, then that's perfect and you haven't paid for anything except your time putting it all together. So it doesn't take a lot of time. It lasts a long time. You can replace them with larger bottle caps from like milk containers and stuff like that. You can put more on, less on, and it's just so versatile. I absolutely love it. So thank you for watching, much appreciated. Until next time, happy enriching and goodbye.